In this series of videos, we are going to perform multiple operations on the data frame. So we are going to learn how to create a columns, delete columns, merge columns, join columns and concatenate columns, starting with the how to create a new column in data frame. So in this image, you can see that in the first table, we have 3 columns, and in the second image, we have added another column with the name D. So this column D can be added using this syntax, where df is the name of the data frame that we have created, and then here we have to provide the name which is D and equals to whatever value that you will be providing over here. If it is a static value, then all the rows in the data frame will have the same values. If you will provide some dynamic value, let's say some kind of formula is there, then accordingly the value will be set in each row. So let's go ahead and see on our Jupyter notebook how we can implement this thing. So we are working on the crop recommendation dataset. These are the values right here. So here we are going to add a new column. So new column can be added in 2 ways. First is you can add a static value to it, and another one is you can add a dynamic value. So first I will show you how to add a static value. So here we are going to add another column in this dataset with the name country, and country will be having a name as United States for all the rows. This is the syntax where df is the name of the data frame that we have created over here, and then the value that we want to assign to all the rows of that column. So if I just run it, now let me go ahead and run df. Now here you can see that we have a new column added with the name country, and each row having a same value, which is United States. Next method is you can add the dynamic value, which will having some kind of formula over here. So right now, if I just show my data frame, so right now we have a rainfall of 202.935536. So let's say this was a very old data and there is some changes in this data. Let's say the rainfall has been increased over the period of time by 20%. Now we have to create a new column with the name new rainfall, which will show the increased 20% amount of rainfall. So what the formula that we are going to use is new rainfall equals to current rainfall. So current rainfall, let's say is this one plus this one multiply 20%. So 0.2 is the 20%. So in this way, we will be able to we will be able to get the 20% of this thing, and then we will add the 20% to this value. So I have implemented in this way. Here, new rainfall is the name of a new column. So right now you can see there is no column with the name new rainfall. Now equals to df.rainfall. So df.rainfall, this thing can also be written in this way. Similar thing, df.rainfall multiply plus df.rainfall multiply by 0.2, that is 20%. Now let's run it, and here I am printing the information, only top 5 rows. Now here you can see that the earlier rainfall was 202, now it is 243. So it has been increased by 20%. So in this way, we can create a new column in Pandas, delete column from the data frame. So let's say you are working with the data frame and there is no requirement for few of the columns. So you can just remove those columns from that data set. So the formula is you have to provide the axis name. So axis can be 1 or 0. 1 is for the column and 0 is for the rows. Index. So index are these values over here. So whatever index number you will provide, or the list of index numbers that you will provide, those rows will be deleted. Then columns, in case if you want to delete any column, let's say A, B, C, you want to delete D. So here we are deleting the D by providing the name over here. You can also pass the list of more than one column names over here. In place is used to make the changes then and there. If you want to make the changes then and there without reassigning the values, then you can use in place as equals to true. By default, it is false. So let's move back to the Jupyter notebook to see the implementation of this. Now let me run it. First of all, I have imported pandas as PD, then the dataset, then the head values. Now what we are going to do, we are going to remove this column from this dataset. So in order to remove that, what I can do, df.drop, then columns equals to, I have to mention the name of this column, which is ph. If I will run it, now you can see that the ph value has been removed from the dataset. I can also add head over here if I just wanted to see the top 5 rows. You can also remove any row at the same time. For example, if I will type index equals to, I want to remove 2 and 4 from this dataset, then I can simply provide 2, 4. Now you can see that row number 2 and row number 4 has been deleted. Next is, if you want to delete the multiple columns, you can go ahead and pass the list of those columns. So here I have just passed one column, that's why only ph has been deleted. Now here I am passing multiple columns ph, n and p. So that means these two columns will also be deleted. So let me run. Now you can see that 3 columns has been deleted, ph, n and p. Although we have made the changes, but these changes have not taken place permanently. So that means if I'll just run the program over here, you can see that all the information has been came back. We have p, ph, n, p. All these columns have been came back. They have not been deleted permanently. If you want to make this change permanent, then that thing can be done into 2 ways. One is either you can assign a new data frame to this thing, or you can assign the existing data frame to this one. For example, here we have not provided any variable name, so I'll do the same thing over here. I have written the same code over here, and this time I will provide a data frame over here. But since I wanted to create a new data frame, that's why the name I have provided is df2. Earlier it was df. So the value of df is being assigned into a new data frame, and then I am printing the first 5 values of this one. So now you can see that these 3 columns has been deleted permanently. So later in program, if I am going to run this thing, then also you will be able to see that these 3 columns has been permanently deleted from this df2. Now if I want to make changes in the same data frame that I was using, which was df, then I can do this thing in 2 ways. First is reassigning the values. So reassigning means I can simply type df equals to df. Instead of df2, I can simply type df equals to df dot drop, and then mention the name of the columns in the list form if they are multiple columns, and then I am printing the first 5 values. Let's run it. Now here you can see that the columns has been deleted. Now if I'll just go ahead and run it later in the program, let's say somewhere here. Now also you can see that we are seeing the same data set. That means there are no ph, no p, and now method 2 is we can use the in place method. We can set the in place value equals to true, then we don't have to assign it. It will automatically assign it to the df. That means this function is doing same thing that done over here. So in order to run this function, I have to run this script again, because those columns has been deleted, and if I'll try to run them, then it will throw an error that these access are not available, not found, or something like that. So I have run this cell. Now I'll just come back to my in place one, and I'll run it once again. Now here you can see that we are seeing the same output that we have seen over here. These 3 columns has been deleted, and this time we don't have to assign it. So if I'll just go ahead and run this command once again, it will work in the same way. By default, the value of in place is false, but you can set it to true. With this, we have learned how to delete the columns from a data frame. Next, we are going to learn about merge operation.